Hey guys, this is Patrick. I'm a music producer from Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm an INFP, a Gemini for those of you who care, and I was kind of raised in a cult. I was raised in a very tightly knit church community in Maryland. As is with everything in life, there's some good and some bad that came out of it. But one thing that I got was that I definitely fell behind on pop culture. All of it. I've been dealing with this for 21 years. So whatever job I go to, whatever college I go to, I find out that there's something I missed. People are like, you never did that? Why? So I just figured it might be good to turn it into some content. I also wanted to say that there were a lot of different families which had a lot of different rules in this community, so I am by no means a representation of everyone. This is just my own personal experience. I think one of the main things that was, we just didn't talk about sexuality. My perception of almost everything in the culture was, it's out to get you. It is sexual, it is evil, demonic, it's gonna hurt you. Because every time we watched American Idol, which got a pass somehow, the channel would change when someone did sexy. So I was like, sex is bad. And we wouldn't watch things like SpongeBob because Bikini Bottom had a bikini in it, which it didn't. I found out later it didn't. It had nothing to do with that. So movies, that's tricky because I did watch some movies. I mean, I watched Star Wars, Lord of the Rings because it was Christian, but the big one that everyone freaks out about is Harry Potter. I wasn't allowed to watch Harry Potter because it had witches. No, it didn't even. It had wizards. But I was allowed to watch The Wizard of Oz even though it had wizards. But maybe that's because he got his due. And like wait, was the wizard bad? I can't remember. No Harry Potter, so I didn't read them. I didn't watch them. Whenever I went into the bookstore, I said, "Can I watch that?" And she said, "No, we don't do that. It's bad." I don't know what you guys watched, but I probably didn't watch most of it. Clean stuff, Disney, Pixar. I didn't watch all Disney. No Little Mermaid because she was immodest. That was a big one. That was the big Disney one because, I mean, did you see her shell bra? I didn't. I wasn't allowed to watch it. Partially because I was raised in a house of all boys. But like no Hercules, no Hunchback of Notre Dame. I watched Cinderella once, I think. I didn't watch Sleeping Beauty. I didn't watch the one with the 12 dwarf guys. Is that Sleeping Beauty? The witchcraft. That was really what we were the most scared of, which also was Halloween. So this is something I realized recently, is that even other Christians were celebrating Halloween. I was not. I never did. We had like a harvest party. We'd like play games and win candy, which was pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. But I just never celebrated Halloween. We never carved pumpkins. I heard it was demonic, so I just assumed that all Christians were not celebrating Halloween. And then I went out and talked to the Christians and I guess they were. So this year I actually just went to my first haunted house. I just carved my first pumpkin last year. I feel like I'm catching up on spooky season. I am loving it, by the way. I love spooky season. I love it. This camera's tilted. It is amazing. It's a perfect vibe for the holidays, the fall. It gets you set up for Thanksgiving. I can't get enough of it. I still need to catch up on horror movies. But spooky. So music was the biggest one for me because I am a musician. I thrive on music, and this was very repressed. I got grounded when it was discovered that I was listening to the radio on my iPod. The radio. So Rihanna, heard of her, Chris Brown. Well, not those two, but you know what I mean. Now, I will say that the older generation of the cult got it a lot worse than I did. I had to get Christian music screened. I did not. There was a brief period when I was younger, like I wasn't allowed to listen to Toby Mac for a little while, for some reason that I don't remember. But for the most part, I could listen to any Christian music I want. That was my only window to the world, was the radio on my iPod Nano, not touch. I didn't have a touch. I couldn't have a touch. I wasn't allowed to text. The era I was raised in was part of the biggest tech boom in the history of the world. First it was email, then it was email chat, and then smartphones, then laptops, and social media. And you know what I had? A home phone. Call you up from the crib. And I did get an email, but I wasn't allowed to chat. So I'd have these 4,000 string of emails, 4,000 to 6,000 emails that I'd have to send between. It was basically a text conversation, but on email. That's how I communicated with my friends. I actually didn't get that much flack from my parents for that, but my friends gave me a lot of flack. They were like, why can't you just chat me or text me? I said, well, I don't have a phone. I'm not allowed to chat. And when I did chat, I got grounded. So not very in communication with everyone. So that was fun. Eventually, when I was 15, I got a Google Voice number, which means I could text you from my computer. And then when I was 16, I got my first dumb phone. 2015. And then I got my first smartphone in college. So while y'all were Snapchatting, I was calling you up from the home phone. So TV shows was one that I think had a couple reasons. First of all, we didn't have cable. But second of all, there were definitely some things I was not allowed to watch just because of the legalism. Big one was SpongeBob SquarePants because it was called Bikini Bottom. Modesty culture was a big thing where we were from. And also, it was stupid and it would have dumbed me down. I have no comment on that. All I know is that I got made fun of for being Patrick Star since I was 6. So bad that I punched a kid when I was 6. I was a nasty little guy there. I never would do that now. The most I would do, if you call me Patrick Star now, is I would just say, "My name's not Rick!" No Disney Channel, no cable. I actually had to look up what the popular TV shows were to make this. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, no Drake and Josh, no Hannah Montana, no cartoons either, so no Phineas and Ferb, no Last Airbender, no Kim Possible. You get the idea. Nothing. I did have PBS though. If you guys watch Sesame Street, I wasn't allowed to watch Arthur though, because Arthur, they had bad attitudes, and you know, bad attitudes, that's bad. I really survived basically off VeggieTales, although I wasn't allowed to watch one of the VeggieTales that was based on self-worth, because we didn't believe in self-worth. So like, what was the mindset behind these decisions? I have no idea. I think they were just trying to protect us from the world, but there weren't that many parameters, and I think when you're in a very tight-knit group, the leader kind of gets to define the boundaries and everyone just kind of follows. So I don't blame anyone for this specifically. It's just kind of funny now at this point. I turned out all right, I think. But me and probably my friends who grew up in this had to deal with this when you're going out and you're kind of trying to coalesce into the real world and you find out how much you don't understand about what other people did.
Deflect did it again.